and welcome to another edition of Lochlee's Corner here on our off-grid homestead. Today it's a nice, bright, sunshiny day, and we're going to do some things with the solar system. As you can see behind us, that sun is nice and bright, not a cloud in the sky. We got about, I think it's about 13 degrees outside right now, but with bright sun, means we can do some interesting things over at the solar house. What we're going to do today is called equalize. Now, there's a whole deal on equalizing your batteries and making it work. With solar, a little bit different. We don't really completely drain or completely fill the batteries all the time, but the equalizing is going to help. For some of the things I'm working on today, we're going to try and pump some water from our water catchment system. It is frozen solid on the top. I'm hoping down inside some, it does have a little bit of liquid in there. We're going to throw a big water heater inside of it as well and see exactly what that'll get us. Hopefully it'll work out. You guys join us for that and see how it goes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around so you guys can see this disaster. It might be a disaster, but it does function, which is a good thing. Let me turn on the light for you so I can see a little bit better. All right, here we go. We've got 3 Outback charge controllers. We got a FlexMax 60 and 2 FlexMax 80s. As you can see over here, the voltage is, we're using 230 watts and the voltage is right at 13.7. We're definitely charging. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what we're charging at. Let's see, 46 amps here, and usually these have the same amount in each one, so they're relatively close together. Here we've got 53, 54, fluctuates a little bit, and this one actually says it's charged, so it's not putting out anything. So what we're going to do is put this in an equalize mode. So for Outback, push these 2 buttons here. We have it on equalize here, so we're going to hit go. We're going to do it at 16 volts, hit next, and 1 hour, and hit next. It says check water level. We already know that that is good, and we're going to go ahead and hit start. And watch, it'll start thinking about it and go, what do we do? Now the reason we're doing this, well, one of the reasons we're doing this is because we haven't had a lot of sunlight in, I don't know, a week or two where we can do really good charging. So we're going to bring all the batteries up and make sure that everything is where they're supposed to be. Let's see. As you can see here, we've got about 60 amps and we're at 14.6 volts going in. Now I'm going to do that for all 3 of them. Follow your manufacturer's warranty. Equalize, go, 16 volts, next, and 1 hour, next, and start. And we're going to do it on this one as well. Now, odds are it will not actually get its 1 hour charge time in. It usually doesn't. And start. All right. Now it's waking back up. So we'll be getting a higher voltage in. That is one thing you do need to remember. Well, let me flip this around again. One thing you do need to remember is to check your battery water before doing equalizing, because it's going to cause a lot of bubbling. And that helps clean off the plates, desulfate things, and get things shaken up. And yeah, so lots of bubbles. Make sure your water's topped off before you start this process, or things could get interesting. I'll go ahead and show you guys the battery setup real quick here. All right, so I've got the 3 Outback charge controllers. We've got a 4,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Pay no mind to some of the wiring you see. This is the way it came. We'll be fixing that as we go. Now, down here, once again, as it came, so it's not too horrible, but I've seen better. I have seen worse. What we do have here is 22 batteries hooked up, Each one of these batteries is 6 volts, and they're hooked in series to make 12 volts, and then they're paralleled together all the way down, as you can see here. Now, like I said, I have seen better, I have seen worse. One of the things that does bother me is this guy here is the main negative cable that runs over to that there, and that's actually a thinner gauge than the positive, and it's way longer than the positive that goes to this battery array, so we'll have to fix that at some point. Here, let's see if you guys can listen to the bubbles now that they're equalizing. Now, I have had a few people ask me exactly what kind of batteries these are. Like I said, they are 6 volts. Each one, let's see, we have the big no-no of mixing different kinds of batteries in here. But these are deep cycle, obviously, 903S. And let's see, if you look on here, it has 420 amp hours in it. And so since it's a lead acid battery, go ahead and cut that in half. So that's 210 amp hours of battery. So 210 amp hours for each set because they're hooked in series and then paralleled together. Anyway, like I said, some people have asked. This is the way it's set up and currently functioning. At some point in the near future, we will talk about that giant paperweight sitting over there. That is a complete and total worthless turd. Came with the place when we got it. Brand spanking new 15 kilowatt Generac generator. Can't do anything with it. It starts, it runs, will not charge absolutely anything. As soon as you put it under a load, it takes a big hissy fit and says, please call the dealer. So, yeah, we'll be working on that and talking about it later. But for now, so we'll probably get a Harbor Freight generator, and we'll do a comparison test against the paperweight and a Harbor Freight generator that's about this big, that's only like 3,000 watts versus 15,000 watts, and how that will be able to charge this battery bank when the Generac can't do it. Anyway, it is a disaster in here. I'll go ahead and leave you guys for right now, and we'll be back in a few and show you. I'll let you join me with the water catchment issues that we've got and see if we can't get it sorted out. Keep your fingers crossed, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, guys, we are now out here at the water catchment tank, which is a frozen disaster. I'm not holding up much hope, although it does sound like there's some liquid water in there. Keep your fingers crossed. Let me turn you guys around. So you can see here, nice and solid. For the downspout, we got frozen water all the way down. And there's a frozen plug here in the top. But, listen to this. There's definitely some liquid water in there. So, we're going to go ahead and try and get that unplugged and see what we can do. Join me here in a few seconds. And the dogs are quite interested in what's happening right now. Fizzy, what you doing? And then Uncle Bengal over there. All right, we'll be with you guys back in just a minute. All right, I've got you guys set up over there so you can see exactly how nasty this is. I don't know. Either way, we need to get this ice chunk out of here and see how things are going. Whew, that is solid. I don't know how well it's gonna work. Let's find out. All right, we got the base broken a little bit. We got some wiggly. You can hear the ladies in the background over there. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get this the rest of the way off. All right, maybe. All right, maybe. There we go. All right. Now, probably wondering what all that's about. This is the ring that goes around the bottom, or the intake for the tank. The water dripped into it, slowly froze, and then built up until it's in this. You can see it's kind of dripping now. It's just screened to keep out bugs and critters and things like that for the normal water catchment. So take that and set it aside. You can see we do have some water dripping in, and I'll show you guys in the tank here. Let's see how much ice we have in here. All right, point you guys down in here. All right, so here's the ice. You can see the water dripping down on it. The temperature's increased to about 25. It is fairly solid. I don't know if we'll be able to puncture a hole in it. Well, maybe. We'll see. I hear some air. We'll take a shovel or something and see if we. Oh wait, I know. I got it. We'll get the hatchet and see if we can chop a hole in the ice. If we can, it should be liquid all the way down. I think there's only a small layer of ice in here, even if it's only a few inches thick right at the top. So we'll go get the hatchet. Is Uncle Bengal enjoying a stick? Where is the floof? Hi, Fizzgig. What you doing? Does Uncle Bengal have your stick? Does Uncle Bengal have your stick? Where is he? Where's the stick? Uncle Bengal thinks that I'm holding a laser pointer, so he's looking for the light. Part cat right there. Part cat. So is this one. They both love the laser pointer. All right, let's go ahead and go inside and grab that hatchet. All right, we've got the hatchet now. Ooh, as the dogs try and run me over. Let's go ahead and see how well this works. Probably won't. Well, maybe. I don't know. What are you guys' odds? Put it down in the comments below. Is this gonna work? I don't know. Well, either way, I gotta use my other hand. I am right-handed, and I'm holding you guys in this hand, so let's go ahead and take this here. Let's see what we got. Hey! Goes to show, even in the middle of winter, you can still be collecting rainwater and snow melt. Alright, so we got a nice big hole, and what we're going to do is pump all this water out. That layer, I'll go ahead and set this aside here. Oh, it's going to be chilly. It's going to be chilly. That layer of ice is only, about that thick. So that leaves us, let's see, this is right at here. So a little over 400 gallons of water with the ice in there. It's about this much ice. And leaves us with quite a bit of water to go ahead and pump into the water house tanks. Let's go ahead and take a peek at those. Hey, Uncle Bengal, what you doing? So I've got the water house over here. This is where the main storage tanks are that we use. We've got about 3,000 or so gallons of water storage in here. This is mostly to keep the wind from blowing these doors open. Let's see. So these two tanks here are hooked together underground so that they're one tank. Now it's about 1,500 gallons. This is probably 2,000, 2,500, somewhere in that general vicinity. And water's actually not bad. It's fairly high up. Got a little bit of layer of ice in that as well. But yeah, not that big a deal. Just a little tiny layer of ice in there. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is grab all of the pumping equipment, and we'll get that set up. And I'll show you guys how you can transfer snow melt in the middle of winter when it's only 25 degrees out. And yeah. So what we're going to do is got this intake hose. I think it's supposed to be a 1-inch intake hose. It's going to go into this tank here. We'll run it down to the bottom and hook it up to this shallow well jet pump that I've got. It works really well for pumping the rainwater tanks into the main tanks. We haven't had any issues with it. A little pricey, but it seems to be worth it so far. That is why we went in and we're equalizing the batteries and everything. I want to make sure the batteries don't take any hit while we're running this pump. It can take, you know, 1,000, 1,500 watts to run the pump continuously for like an hour or two. So I want to have that solar array just pumping as much power into that as I can while I'm siphoning off the backside. Let's get you guys out of here and I'll see if I can't do multitasking. Oh, Uncle Bengal has found a light reflection to play with. All right, so let's go ahead and bring you down here. Oh, and you might be wondering, why is he pumping that stone out? Why doesn't he wait till everything is finished melting? And well, the reason why is because we have a whole bunch more snow on the roof, and we need to make room in the tank for when that stuff melts to fill up the tank. Once again, like I said, this is a 1-inch intake hose. You gotta make sure you don't cross thread these things. They're kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, especially if they're cold, but thankfully it was inside. I'm not sure what's going on here. Well, we'll take a look at that and see. Keep your fingers crossed that nothing weird has happened. All right, now you remember the water pitcher I stuck in here, that's for priming this thing. We're just gonna go ahead and stick this in here for now. We'll prime it here in a minute when we get the rest of the hose stuff set up. One-hand operation here, that's exciting. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, get that set there. And like I said, we'll be priming that in a minute. And we've got to get the power cord for that set over here. Well, let's go ahead and get the hose and get that all set up. So I've got, hey, you're not supposed to be in here, Fizzgig. What are you doing? Yeah, Chickens are over there. They've been fed and watered already, and now they're out sunning themselves. Silly chickens. All right, so we've got a couple of hoses. This is our 100-footer here. 100 foot, yeah, pretty sure it's 100 foot. 100 foot, 50 feet, 100 foot. We're gonna go ahead and drag this out. Alright, so the output for this particular pump is on the top. I think most shallow well jet pumps are the same. These pumps are quite useful, and there's a lot of different ways to do this, but since this uses our solar power, it works great. And it doesn't take too much wattage. It's just a, you know, yeah. There we go. Sorry about that. Paying attention and not cross-threading. All right, so we've got that in there. Let's go ahead and grab our extension cord and run it on over here. All right. Gotta unplug the smoker, and we'll run this guy over. All right, let's go ahead and prime this thing. I'm gonna set you guys back up here for a minute. We're gonna prime this, and then I gotta set the hose up on the inside over there. Priming is pretty straightforward. You just pour water down the hose and get it all through the motor. Well, apparently we need a bigger hole for the pitcher. Alright, now that we've beaten it into submission, You can get a bigger scoop of water. Oh, that's chilly. All right. Whew. Then we'll stick that back down in all the way to the bottom. And I'm gonna go ahead and go set up the hose on the other end, and I'll be right back. All right, let's go ahead and fire this thing up, see if we have any leaks, make sure we get pressure, and make sure there's no kinks. All right, we got pressure. Go check for kinks. I do have a couple of little guys here. There we go. Oh, and another one. There we go. Oh, another one. There we go. Oh, I can hear it running. You can hear it jumping, getting all the air out. And now we've got it running. Let's take a look. All right, we've finished pumping what we're going to be pumping. I'm in the water house again. I'll show you guys where we started and where we're at. Hold on a second, let me flip you around. So, that's today, the 25th. We started here and we ended up here, which isn't quite as far as the last time we filled the tank.